Hey guys, today I'll be doing something a little bit different. I'm just going to be bringing you guys along with me while I make dinner. This is just a really easy one sheet pan meal, and you can do whatever combination of meat and veggies you guys like, but this is the way that my family likes it the best. I'm just using regular smoked sausage, and I just cut them into slices, and then I put that down the center of the sheet pan, and I do try to put it on the sheet pan as flat as possible. They just cook a lot more evenly that way. If you leave them piled up, sometimes you'll get burnt ones on the bottom before the top gets crispy, and so I just prefer if they're all the same. Next, I did cut up 3 onions. We just do a really rough chop on these. I don't dice them because I do like to get the big chunks of onion while I'm eating it. Really, this meal is all about personal preference, so if you'd rather cut it up smaller, you can. If you don't want to do as many or even more onions, that's fine too. There's not really a way to mess up this meal. Once I had the onions chopped, I did take a little while to break up the pieces because as much as I like to get the big chunks of onion, I didn't necessarily want to get a whole chunk of the onion, like all the different layers. So I did break them up. Once I had them broken up, I did move them to the sheet pan. I do about 80% of the onions on one side of the sausage, and then the other 20% on the other side of the sausage. And I honestly do that because on the side with 20%, we put potatoes, and then on the other side, we put these peppers right here, and usually my husband does not eat the peppers, and so I choose to leave it all separate so that it's easier for him to not even get those. Obviously, if everyone in your family eats all of the components, you can honestly just mix this completely on the sheet pan and it might be a little bit quicker for you, but again, I just like to keep it separate so that you don't have to get all of the separate vegetables if you don't want to. Then again, you just move these to the sheet pan. I originally was going to leave these separate from the onions, and then I realized that I cut up a few more peppers than originally intended, and so at that point I did decide to just go ahead and mix the peppers and the onions. That's why it looks kind of funny the way that I put them on there. So then you super gracefully put your potatoes on the cutting board. And I did quarter these potatoes. You don't have to cut them as small if you don't want to, but quartering these are easier for my daughter to eat. Before we had her, I did always just cut these in half. Then you move that to the side of the sausage where you put the smaller part of the onions. And I did do double this amount of potatoes. I just am going to skip the part. So then you put minced garlic just on the potato side. Obviously, if you mix all of your vegetables together, you can do it together, but I just do it on the potatoes. Then you do some ground paprika. And I do this over all of it just because I love the flavor that paprika gives. It's not a super strong flavor, but it is a little bit. Then I do Italian seasoning. Again, over the entire sheet pan. I then took 4 tablespoons of butter and I just split it up. I did not put any over the sausage because the sausage does have some like grease that comes out of it, and so it really doesn't need it. And then I just put it in the oven at 350, and I usually cook it for about 30 to 40 minutes. And after about 15 or 20 minutes, I do check it. I do kind of move things around. That's what I'm doing right here. And I don't like make sure I flip everything. I just kind of move it around to make sure that it's not sticking or burning on the bottom or anything crazy. So just move it around, put it back in. And there you have it. That is a super quick, easy meal, minimal ingredients, relatively healthy. The sausage isn't the best, but it is relatively healthy. And it's super yummy. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and thank you so much. I'll see you next time.